Hi, this is Paul Martinelli. I'm doing a video here from my home at Jupiter Island, Florida. I often get asked, what books do I read or what book should a person read? This is one of my favorite. It's entitled As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This is an old copy. It's a gift actually from one of my very first mentors, Bob Proctor. And I absolutely love it because not only do I have the book and the energy that Bob had from studying the book for years, but I've got all the notes, as you can see, all the highlights and stuff. And what, I can see kind of what he was thinking about. There's even a spot here in this book where, let me find it here, where Bob, when he was working on his own purpose, vision, and goals, started to write them out here in the book. So it's a treasured book for me. But also, I guess what's even more treasured is what's written inside the book. And I just wanted to share a thought with you here. It's on page 10 in my version of the book, and you'll be able to download a copy of this. This is on the chapter on thought and character. Let me put on my 40s here. When you turn 40, you got to put on the readers. He says, as a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the Lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. I don't know how many times I've read this book. I've read this book hundreds of times. And I guess the first few times I read this book, I didn't understand what he was saying. And then as I started to understand what he was saying, that I was a being of power, of intelligence and love, and the Lord of my own thoughts, that I could actually be an agency to make whatever I wanted in my life, I didn't believe that. You see, there was a long period of time in my life where I believed that I had to play the hand that was dealt to me. You just have to play the cards you were dealt. It never even occurred to me that I could take the cards and throw them back to the center of the table and say I want a new hand. Or as he writes here, be the Lord of my own thoughts and become my own dealer. So if you haven't read this book, I encourage you to grab it and certainly read it. But then take the time, as Bob Proctor has and I have and many other people who have really read this book, and turn it into a study. I always say about this book is that it's 62 pages that you could read in an hour and you can study for your lifetime. I love this one. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Be well.